Cool. So we are recording.
Fantastic.
And we are good to go. So hello. Thank you everybody for coming. It looks like it's just us right now, but we will be posting this, as we said, on YouTube. So people can check you guys out there and learn more about your team. So I'd like to introduce a fantastic team. They've been in the ecosystem for some time now, and they actually they're another one of these projects that started at a hackathon, and now they're actually, they're actually a business. They're actually a project. They have the Oracle reputation system, the Chainlink Oracle reputation, the core product, which is fantastic, and they'll talk a little bit more about that. But without further ado, I'd like to introduce Kitty and Frank from the team. Kitty and Frank, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Patrick, for inviting us.
Thank you, Patrick. And you can see our screen, can you? Our slide deck?
Yep.
Wonderful.
Yep.
All right.
And then also, just one other thing, there is a Q&A feature. Looks like some people are streaming, and there's a Q&A feature. You're free to answer the questions as you go along or at the end, whatever you want to do.
Sure.
Fantastic. Thanks for that. Yeah, great. So yeah, I'm Kitty. This is Frank.
Hey guys.
And as Patrick just introduced us, we're from the team working on Chainlink Oracle Reputation. So yeah, it's a tool that essentially monitors, visualizes, and contextualizes the Chainlink network. So I'll firstly give everyone a bit of context on us in this presentation. So yeah, we're thrilled to be involved in the Chainlink Hackathon. We've been actively interested and involved in the Chainlink ecosystem since 2018. And so we were lucky enough to recently have been awarded a grant from the Chainlink grant program to continue building out our tool, Chainlink Oracle Reputation. We've also been running a node since early 2019, secure data links. So yeah, we're super excited to be here today to join you guys on this call and join you on this great hackathon to give an overview of Chainlink Oracle Reputation, how it can be used by Chainlink developers like yourselves to contextualize the Chainlink network. Yeah, like Patrick said, we want this to be an interactive session, so please feel free to shoot through any questions. We'll try and answer them as we go, otherwise we'll address them at the end of the session. But yeah, before we get into it, we'll just give an overview of our team and our journey in this Chainlink ecosystem. So a bit about us. We've been in this world since about 2018, and not too long ago, like Patrick said, we were in your shoes participating in Chainlink hackathons. So towards the end of last year, we participated in Chainlink Virtual Hackathon. And earlier this year, we attended ETH Denver, where Chainlink they attended the event as well, and they were awarding prizes to solutions that used Chainlink in their products. So I'll give you a little overview of the two products that we built. These might even provide a little bit of inspiration for your projects. So yeah, in a virtual hackathon hosted by Chainlink last year, we created a Link Total Return Swap. So it's a platform that enables Chainlink node operators to hedge against Link price volatility. So essentially during a service level agreement, Chainlink node operators have to put down Link as collateral. And so this Link is exposed to market volatility. And so once the service level agreement is complete, that the value of that Link may have depreciated in value. So by using the product that we created, Chainlink node operators can hedge against their exposure to the price fluctuations of Link by essentially selling their risk to a counterparty who wants leveraged synthetic exposure to Link for an interest rate fee. So that's the first project. And then earlier this year, we attended ETH Denver, and we were lucky enough to receive an award from Chainlink for our solution, which we called InsurLink. And so the product is essentially a modular open source IoT framework that uses Chainlink middleware to execute real-time payments, real-time peer-to-peer insurance, smart contracts, which is built on Ethereum. And so we essentially use Chainlink oracles to allow like the real world data to be collected by these devices and trigger these insurance-based smart contracts. So yeah, we started as a small team at a hackathon, at Chainlink hackathons, and the experience and the network that we gained at these hackathons have led us to develop and focus on Chainlink Oracle reputation, and we've expanded our team significantly. So dream big, guys. Build something that you're passionate about. Talk to people around you. You'll be surprised about, the level of insight that you can gain from people around you, which will really push your projects forward. And we're sure you guys have already experienced the Chainlink ecosystem is extremely supportive and welcoming. So you're developing in a great place. A final tip from us, keep in mind it is a hackathon, so don't be afraid to be a little bit scrappy at times. But anyway, good luck, guys. So back to the tool, Chainlink Oracle Reputation. So that's our current focus. And so, like we said, it's essentially just a tool that visualizes the Chainlink network. So before we go into the specific details and features of the tool and how it can be used by developers like yourselves, we'll explain kind of how this project came into fruition. So the inspiration of creating this product came directly from Chainlink's white paper. So their white paper, they propose 4 security services that they suggest individuals or groups can develop. And so these individuals or groups must share Chainlink's philosophy of decentralization design. So these services are a validation system, a reputation system, a certificate service, and a contract upgrade service. And yeah, we strongly suggest having a look and reviewing these. They're all great ways for developers like yourselves to positively contribute and strengthen the Chainlink ecosystem and provide Chainlink users guidance with the network. And yeah, I'm sure you guys are all aware and you've heard of the Chainlink grant program. So it's a program that they put in place for developers to keep building out tools and services that will be used by members of the community. So whether these members are data providers, node operators, or smart contract developers. And so, yeah, we briefly mentioned we were lucky enough to be awarded one of these grants earlier this year, and another node listing service, market.link, also received one. And very recently, Simply VC also were awarded a grant. So they do outline the kind of projects that they're really encouraging developers like yourselves to build. There's plenty of more information at the following link, so we suggest checking that out. So yeah, getting into the tool, we're sure many of you are aware of how the Chainlink network operates and the flow of the data. However, we'll give a really brief rundown because it's pretty imperative to the way that the design decisions that we made with Chainlink Oracle Reputation. So the data starts at the API sources, where each node operator aggregates the data from the variety of these API sources in response to the price reference contracts, where the data is then used on-chain for protocols that are integrated with Chainlink feeds. And so our tool, reputation.link, essentially helps to unpack the lifecycle and usage of the supply chain of Chainlink data. So having information condensed into a very easy to digest format like reputation.link allows for Oracle users and Chainlink developers to quickly judge the value offering of a Chainlink Oracle.
For sure. I'll take over from here. Thank you, Kitty. So following what Kitty was discussing about judging the value offering of an Oracle, I think I'll start with talking about the ideal Oracle. What do we want on the Chainlink network? What do we consider to be a good Oracle? Okay, so there's several qualities here that really constitute the ideal Oracle in our opinion. Some of which are, first, I think, goes without saying, like lightning fast response time is very important here. You always want an Oracle to be responsive and basically giving the price reference contract the exact data it needs in a very short amount of time. And the second one might be a bit tricky to understand here. So we say that the ideal Oracle should always be setting a really high gas price. So this is because we want the ideal Oracle to be always available and to be like always responding to the price reference contract without really bumping into issues with network congestion or anything like that. So the ideal oracle should always set a high gas price. And the ideal oracle, we say that you should have ideally 100% completion rate of jobs. So obviously in real life, you're not going to see 100% because they always miss some number of jobs, but we're seeing numbers like 99.5, 99.7% completion rate, and that's really what we want to see. And the ideal oracle here should have 100% correctness of response. So it doesn't matter obviously how fast you respond to the job if your data is incorrect. Okay, so we want that fast response and also correct response. So the ideal oracle should also guarantee service with collateral if required. So obviously all the Chainlink oracles, as we know, they do deposit a certain number of links with Chainlink as a collateral. And if you don't behave or if you go down too frequently, obviously that collateral will be taken from you. Okay, so the ideal oracle, the last criteria here is we say that the ideal oracle has to be has been live for a long time, because let's imagine a fresh new oracle that just came online onto the network. You might have like 100% job completion ratio. You might have really good response times, but obviously we're not going to consider that as the same reliability as some other oracle who's been online for way longer than a year, sometimes even 2 years. Okay, so now we move on to a more hands-on demonstration of our offering, reputation.link. So if you're watching the stream, feel free to just open reputation.link, and I'm gonna do a walkthrough of all the features we have on reputation.link. Okay. So we've recently done a whole revamp of the front page as well. If you have been to the have been to reputation.link before, you might notice some pretty significant differences here. So this marks a sort of shift in strategy and direction of the website. So we're going from a solely developer-focused sort of tool into a more comprehensive Chainlink block explorer that also targets really the end users of the protocols as well. But let's talk about that later. I think a good starting point for reputation.link will be the network stats page. So if you want to head to the Chainlink network stats page here, you'll be able to see a bunch of very valuable network statistics here. Basically, we're picturing this to be a dashboard of some sort that you open when you're having your morning coffee. If you're interested in how the Chainlink network is going, you open this tab, you see, okay, during the past week, we've got 46 oracles, 80 fees online. We've done, all the contracts have done 55,000 requests in total. Average response time is 45 seconds. Job completion ratio is 96%. So these are really the baseline statistics that you might want to see. Gives you like a really quick, holistic overview of the Chainlink network. Okay, so the next page I want to talk about is actually the first chain in the whole Chainlink data flow. So obviously we know that from before, Kitty also mentioned this, that Chainlink data flow basically goes from the API source to your node operators or oracles to the price reference contracts and then to the end protocol users. So here we start from the very first chain here, the API providers. So a very good use case here for this data curator or API provider statuses page is that, say I'm a node operator, I'm leveraging maybe 10, maybe 13, different API providers for my Oracle. And at any given point in time, I want to be able to see if all the API providers are online so that I know, because their health is quite important to my Oracle's health. So this is quite a valuable piece of information here that we provide. And we'll also be...
And I will just say something that we are working on is comparing the API downtime to the node reliability to show, like, if erroneous data is reported on chain, we can really see the source of, where that failure occurred. Was it the API provider or was it the node operator? So that's something we're working on.
That's a huge part, yeah, for sure, to really understanding like which chain fails, if something happens, if something fails. That's really important to understand which chain in the entire data flow actually failed. So something else we've been working on actually is alerting for node operators or developers. So we're trying to build this alerting system that allows node operators to really subscribe to a list of APIs that they're using. So if any of those APIs that we are monitoring goes down, we'll send them a Slack integration alert, an email, text message. So that's something we're working on. Keep an eye on that. It's probably going to drop, I would say probably before the end of the year, definitely. And now that's API statuses page. I'll move on to the Oracle's page actually, which I would say is really the core offering of Chainlink Oracle Reputation. It's something that we started out building. It's really this reputation system of Chainlink oracles. So here you can see a list of oracles operating on the Chainlink network. So we really encourage all the node operators to register with us to display their reputation, and once they support the opportunity for protocol users, protocol integration developers to be really picking exactly which oracle they want on their price reference contract. Obviously that's something that's huge thing that's coming to the Chainlink network. So when the opportunity for that opens up, then developers can really go through all the oracles that we have listed here and really sort through using a number of filters that we've got here. For example, if you want the highest response ratio, or if you want the most amount of transactions, you can really pick the ideal oracle here for your protocol. Excuse me. So now we'll move on to individual protocol pages. Let's just pick, let's say, secure data links here. It might take a while to load. My apologies.
We're working on, speeding up.
We're working on speeding up the load time, but it's really important that we sort of keep the live transactions here. So as you can see, we've got the latest transactions tab that's really fetching the live data here. So that might take a while. And the statistics, that's fetching the all-time statistics, that might take a while as well. So while that loads, I might just quickly give an overview of our data pipeline in how we really get this data from the Ethereum network, really. So on the backend perspective, we are using the open source solution Ethereum ETL that sort of streams all the transactional data. And then we're using a bunch of GCP cloud functions to really capture that data and filter through and only send the desired Chainlink relevant transactions into our database. And from there, we also have a data snapshotting service. That's taking a while to load.
Yeah, we'll just go to, we've got a screenshot of it here.
Yep. Might just work off the slides for now. Yeah, going back to what I was saying about the data flow, we've got a data snapshotting service that's snapshotting the network transactions at given intervals. And that gives us the information that we see on the front page, as you can see here, actually on the oracles page. You should be able to see these sort of average block response time graphs, and they are part of the snapshotting service. So we snapshot these data on like 20, I think, or 10 minutes interval. So we'll be able to graph this information here. And we'll go back to the slides here for the individual Oracle pages. And sweet. So here for each individual Oracle, we provide a profile for node operators to really be able to customize their bio and show off their banner if they choose to. And here we have a bunch of super helpful, I would say, statistics here. You can filter through using an all-time filter, past month or past week or even past day filter to see the total number of transactions, the amount of link earned during that interval, average response time, and the average gas price, which are some of the key metrics, I would say, for node operators to look at. Something else that we thought was super helpful was the introduction of live transactions. So that just makes it easy for node operators to see that the node is up, it's live, and it's making the correct transactions. And if they wish, they can click on the transaction hash that takes them straight to Etherscan. The next feature of Core that I want to talk about is how we provide protocol integration. People who are thinking of integrating with Chainlink to really look at the price reference contract that they're interested in and compare different oracles' performance as well. So for example, here we've got the Ethereum USD contract here, which is a quite common one. So I'm sure a lot of exchanges will be using this one. And here you can see a chart of the aggregated price for that particular contract, as well as the individual oracles' responses to that price reference contract over time. So this might be helpful in the sense that if I'm trying to integrate ETHUSD into my protocol, then I would want to know, for example, which oracle is potentially being an outlier, giving erroneous data to the price reference contract. So we've provided this nice visualization tool here for exactly that use case.
So yeah, you can also see, which oracles are posting, the exact price, which can show if there's any malicious data being posted. And so there is so much value being secured by some of these Chainlink price feeds. So it's really important for protocol developers, Chainlink developers like yourselves and users to do their due diligence and really assess these price feeds and these individual oracles that are supporting these price feeds, just to make sure that they're comfortable and willing to proceed with the security guarantees involved in these different kind of financial agreements. So moving forward, this is a new feature that we released last Friday. So now we show the breakdown of protocols who have integrated with Chainlink to show the total value that is secured by the Chainlink network. And we also break it down for each price feed. We can probably do a live interaction of this one.
For sure.
So let's go back to the website.
Do you want to start from the front page, Kitty?
Yeah, we'll just go to the protocols.
Sure.
So yeah, we've got 3 integrated at the moment. So we've got Synthetics, Aave, Nexus Mutual, with many more on the way at the moment. And so yeah, you can go into Aave. Similar to the Oracle profile page, we've got the banner and the display picture and a little bio. And so, yeah, for Aave, there's 900 million USD secured by the Chainlink network. And we show a few statistics like the number of feeds that they use. So yeah, we can scroll down and see the breakdown for each contract. And yeah, the value that is secured for each, which is pretty incredible.
You can click into the price reference contract that they use to see the profile and see exactly which Oracle is giving what value at any given point in time.
Fantastic. So yeah, if anyone's got any feedback on these features, you know, we'd love to hear from you guys. We always love to hear how everyone feels about it, ways we can improve. And yeah, so all of the data that we display on reputation.link is in real time. And so it will all be open sourced, freely available for Chainlink developers to use via our API. So yeah, we're actively working on expanding our API at the moment. So we provide all of the data that we collect so it can be used to create more applications to support the Chainlink network. So behind the scenes, we have been creating a tool to allow users and developers to compare oracles at a really granular level on various metrics that we capture from the on-chain contracts. So a little preview here, users and developers can firstly select the oracles that they wish to compare. They can then select the metrics. They can then select the metrics that they wish to compare the oracles by. So for instance here, gas price above 137.9. And then once we execute, once the query is executed, users of the tool can then see, really compare the oracles in tabular format or in a graph with customized axes. So yeah, you can see here, we're still working on this feature. So yeah, keep an eye out. We'll let you know when it's coming out. But yeah, so as Chainlink continues to rapidly be adopted and grow and expand their offerings, we're planning to develop Chainlink Oracle Reputation alongside to really capture and visualize the universally connected smart contract ecosystem that Chainlink is building.
That's a nice graph to look at.
So yeah, I'm sure as you're all aware, Chainlink is blockchain agnostic. It can be used by many other blockchains other than Ethereum. So we're doing the work on our end to ensure that reputation.link provides data insights supporting other networks.
Yeah, so some final words here. Just if you want to get in touch with us, join our Discord. You can find the link here, scan the QR code, or you can find it on our website, reputation.link. Tune in to our Twitter and really just get involved and have fun hacking.
Good luck, everyone. Thanks so much, Patrick.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. And then just one other thing, guys, everybody who's watching, anybody who wants to know, I know a lot of smart contract engineers are saying, hey, you know, how do I just pick some of the best nodes? How do I just, you know, figure out what are the nodes that I want to use? You know, reputation.link is exactly that tool that answers those questions, right? That API, hey, we'll go into all of the oracles and here's the response rate of this oracle. Here's, you know, the results of this. Here's what this oracle responded with. Okay, cool. They responded that the price of Ethereum was $7. Okay, maybe I don't want to use that oracle, right? So this is the tool that's going to give you the data to really choose your networks. And I just wanted to kind of double down on everything Kitty and Frank just said right there. So, so thank you both so much for being here, and we'll talk again soon.
All right. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
All right. Bye, guys.
See ya.
Bye.